Well, good afternoon, everyone, and we are back for another season of the GrTwosdays Championship here at the Ultimate Racing League. This season, the guys will be driving the GT500 cars from 2008. And for those that don't know, those will be the Honda NSX GT500, the Lexus SC430, and the Nissan Zavi, I think it is, GTR. So they've had free choice of cars. Obviously, the different cars have different pros and cons, depending on your driving style and various different things. So they've had free choice. They've had free choice of livery. So we'll have a little look down through the grid and just go through their qualifying positions and look at their liveries as well. For the race, we are here in the UK at Brands Hatch, in the town of Kent. And obviously a legendary British motor racing venue. It was originally opened in 1950, so it's steeped in history, and one of the most challenging circuits in the UK, I believe. Well, at least it feels that way when you drive it. So that's where we are for round one. It's a 50-minute race. The tyre requirements are 3 laps on the hards, and the rest is driver's choice. So we'll be watching out for what strategies people are using to get themselves through the race the quickest. We have some newcomers to the league, I believe. We also have some familiar faces. Last season's champion, HKRT Kevin, is returning to defend his title, so we will be keeping a close eye on anyone who may be able to take it to him. And at round one, it does look like we have a contender. So he started the previous season, the inaugural championship season, the GrTwosdays, but was unable to complete the season. That is URL Matty Alder. Now he has put it on pole with a cracking lap time. And just to because it was so impressive, the qualifying, just to give you an idea, so Matty Alder qualified on pole with a 1:15.974. Now, the positions going right the way back to, where was it? Back to 9th place on the grid were separated by less than 0.4 of a second, but the top 4 positions were separated by less than a tenth. So this was one of the closest qualifying sessions I think the majority of us have actually been part of. And hopefully that is going to result in some really close, interesting racing. So, Ural Matty Alder, he has put it on pole in the Gillette liveried Honda NSX GT500, number 134, and he will be looking to start the championship season off on a high. Then comes our reigning champion, defending champion, HKRT Kevin in the Santander NSX GT500, followed by HKRT Sturpam, the first of the Lexus SC430 drivers in the Alpine Formula One livery. He ran that same livery last season. I think he's a bit of an Alpine Formula One fan, perhaps. Either that or he just likes blue and pink. But it is a cracking livery, and he has put it in third. Then we have HKRT Midas, missed the majority of last season with an injury. He came back towards the end, and he is starting this season and will hopefully finish it. And he is in 4th place in the Kasper Sky livery. I think that's an internet antivirus provider or something like that. But he's there in that livery. Then we have your own Jack, yours truly, also in the SC430 Lexus. I meant to say HKRT Midas there in the first of the Nissan GTRs. So we've got all 3 cars in the top 4 positions. So yeah, Enzo Jack, myself, I am in 5th place on the grid in the Lexus SC430, and that, for those that don't know, is a livery from the Ferrari 550 GTC that raced in a lot of the endurance races back in the mid 2000s. Then we have Panic at the Tesco in 6th, a newcomer to this season, the GrTwosdays Championship. He's in wacky livery there. It looks like a nod to the original PlayStation console. You can see a lot of the PlayStation trademarks on there with the button symbols and different things. But not to miss the Tesco rear wing there. So he's obviously changed things up for this season. A bit of a surprise. I was expecting a Tesco value livery, but he has gone for something a bit different. I think actually on his number board he's got fuel save on it, which is quite apt at this with the current climate that we all live in. Then we have TLR Smith, and that is a wild livery there. I wonder where he found that one, with his TLR Smith logo on the side there, and various nods to the legendary Valentino Rossi. You can see dotted around the car. I know Smith is a very big fan of the Doctor, as am I. In 8th place, we've got URL Osman, in the Cahin liveried NSX GT500. So Panic is in the Nissan GTR. Smith in the GT500 NSX, as is Osman in 8th. 9th, we have HKRT Manos, another returning driver in the Repsol Honda GT500 NSX. And in 10th, we have HKRT Panos in the Petronas Mercedes Formula 1 liveried Lexus SC430. In 11th, we have URL Tinners in what looks to, well, the main sponsor on that is Autobacks, I believe. I'm not familiar with that livery, but looking cool nevertheless. And then we have he's under the bridge, so it's going to be a bit, there we go. So we've got HKRT Damien in 12th place. Now he was the championship winner for the League 2 season. So he has been promoted into the top tier, and he will be testing his mettle against the next level of opponent. In 13th, and he is in the Red Bull liveried Lexus SC430. In 13th place, and at the back of the grid, we have Brian Moncarney Monkey in the SC430 Lexus, and that is a livery reminiscent of the Lister Storm of the mid-90s endurance championships, particularly legendary endurance racing car, and he has used that livery for his car. So to get things underway, we are already nearly 8 minutes into this, so we will try and limit the amount of times we go back during the race to make sure we finish the whole race. And we will get things underway. As they all come round the long sweeping start-finish straight with Matty Alder leading the way. The klaxon goes and the lights are out and we are off. Off down into turn 1. Difficult, tricky turn 1. Blind. Can't see the apex and can't see the exit until you pretty much get there, and you want to be on that throttle as well, and into quickly into the next turn, which is a tight hairpin, right hand hairpin, and on down into a left-hander, which is slightly off camber and can cause a lot of problems. But everybody looks, I say everybody looks being safe. We've got some instant back there, so it looks like Panos that was. So we'll get to the back there and see what actually happened there. So he's come round the left-hander. Oh, he's gone wide and got on the grass, and Tidders has got a little bit out of shape as well, but Panos has spun, and thankfully he ghosted, so he didn't collect Monkey and Damien, but Tidders is also impacted, but Tidders has managed to keep it ahead of Monkey with a little bit of argy-bargy there, and Panos is now stuck at the back of the pack with a lot of work to do. And Kevin kicking up a little bit of dust there as the guys take us through around towards the top part of the track. Oh, we've lost Enzo Jack. Enzo Jack is, well, what's happened to Enzo Jack there? He's done an Enzo, and he's going to, what have I done, I should say? Yeah, I've caught a bit of the gravel on the exit and overcorrected, and that is probably my race done, knowing me. But that is unfortunately that from Enzo Jack. So let's get back up to the guys ahead. Matty Alder about to cross the line for the first time in this race. It's a 50-minute race which has been converted into laps, so we got a 39 lap scheduled race. Matty Alder starting to create a bit of a gap between himself and Kevin at the moment as TLR Smith looks to have a little look at the inside of Midas, but he will have the outside of the following turn, but he has got the move done before we go round it. So Smith up to 4th place. Smith moving very quickly up through the pack as Euro Osman and Panic at the Pesco are battling out there, and Panic is past Osman, or I think he was ahead of him actually already. So Osman putting the pressure on as it looks ahead, and it looks like Smith has got Stirpan as well. So Smith making real big moves early on, and Smith is up to 3rd place already. He's gone wide there as he's kept it going. So Smith has kept hold of 3rd as we go back to Panic and Osman battling out for 5th, for 6th and 7th. Osman tucked right in underneath the rear wing of that Nissan there, as everybody looking to kick up a bit of dirt. So Osman down the outside now into the final turn, and Panic is holding station on that inside line. A bit of argy-bargy there. Panic not wanting to give anything away to Osman, and giving him a little elbow there to make sure he doesn't get through. Osman dropping back then, and Manos now having a sniff Osman after that a little bit of contact into the final turn. Osman fending off against Manos, was trying to keep his eye on Panic and see if he could get past Panic. So it's up to 9th with Damien up to 10th. Panic, Brian Moncarney and Panos at the back of the grid there. So Panos still looking to try and make progress, as is Monkey. So Osman looks to have a little run on Panic. He's right back up underneath that rear wing then. The NSX in testing, the NSX did seem to be like the car to have. Just looking ahead, we've got a little battle going on here between Kevin and Smith. So Smith isn't happy with 3rd. He's already looking to get past Kevin. So can Smith do it? Coming down into the final turn of the 3rd lap of this race. Is he going to have a look? No, he's going to stick in that slipstream. All the while, Matty Alder just seems to be clearing off up the road. Can Smith find a way past as we come around the... Oh, it looks like we've lost Panic. Oh, Panic diving into the pits on lap 3. The Panic getting off those hard tyres on lap 3. And Smith now gets a decent run on Kevin on the exit of the hairpin as he comes round, and he's just not quite close enough to have a little diving move there, but he's going. Oh, he takes the wider line through that. That's going to give him a really strong run on the run up to the top part of the track, and he is going to have a look. He's got the slipstream. He's pulled out early, door to door, and Kevin's just stayed round the outside there, despite being on the hard tyres when Smith is on the softs. But he's gone deep. Kevin's gone deep there. Is that going to open the door for Smith? Smith not quite close enough, but he's not giving it up just yet. Looks like Smith is going to have to wait another lap as they come down towards the final turn, unless he sends one up the inside, which is not a traditional overtaking place, but you never know. These guys are some of the quickest guys that we have within the URL, and they know what they're doing in these GR2 cars, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a spectacular move on anywhere on this track. And Smith, I looked like I was going to get what I was asking for. Smith gave, and he's got a great line on the inside there. It's going to give him the outside line coming into the left-hander. Bit of argy-bargy, but Kevin ain't having any of it, and now Smith's got the inside line. Smith's gone for the cutback. Can Smith get him on the track down into the next left-hander? And it looks like he has, but is Kevin going to go drive around the outside? No, it's side by side on the exit, and Kevin gets all the oversteer from the grass, and it does look like Smith has managed to get his way through. No quarters given by either driver, but nobody got murdered, so we're as you were, and now Kevin is now going to have to look to see if he can find a way past Smith. But Smith on those soft tyres, I do not think Kevin is going to have the grip to make that happen. And I think, knowing Kevin from last season, he may well just settle in and just try and stay with Smith for as long as he can whilst he's on those hard tyres, which is going to give him a really strong run on the soft tyres later in this race, which could make him come good. Then we got Sturpan and Midas in 4th and 5th, and Midas has got Osman for company. Osman, since he's shaken off the panic at the Tesco's, obviously pitted to get rid of the hard tyres. Osman is now looking with that clear air behind him and pressure off to put the pressure on Midas, and Midas has got that Honda NSX all over the back of him. As they come down into the hairpin on lap 6, Osman is not happy with 6th. He wants more. Is he going to have a run on him on the straight? What line is he taking? They're both taking very similar lines, but Osman's got a tighter line on the exit. Midas pushing it out further. Is that going to give Osman a run? He's in the slipstream. He pulls to the inside. They're going side by side into the fast right-hander, but Osman yields, which is probably a sensible move because that turn can be treacherous. And Osman going to have to have another look somewhere else on the track potentially. Because that was not going to happen there. But he's still stuck right to the rear end of that, almost like he's on a tow bar. And as they come down into the final turn, is Osman going to send one down the outside? Midas has gone defensive, held the middle of the track. Great defensive stuff from Midas. And he dives into the pit, so Osman is free from Midas and off up the road. So Midas getting off those hard tyres early on as well. As Panic comes through in 7th after having already pitted. Midas is coming out on the medium tyres. So medium tyres for Midas. And he comes out in 8th place with Panos and Monkey in 9th and 10th. With Enzo in 11th. Damien in 12th. And Tidder's back in 13th at the moment. But I think they may have pitted. They may have already done their hard tyre runs. Looking at the fact that soft tyres are relatively fresh on Tidders and the mediums are definitely fresh on Damien. Those two have pitted, and Enzo Jack is at the back of the pack, having started on the softs and not pitted. Still on the hards for Monkey, down in 10th. Panos in 9th, still looking to recover from his spin early on in the first lap. He's also on the hard tyres. And Midas has obviously pitted, and he's out on those fresh mediums. Panic out on fresh, well, not so fresh looking softs, but out on softs nevertheless after having stopped at the end of lap 3 on the hard tyres, doing the mandatory three laps. Manos on hard tyres, not stopped yet, I don't believe. And then Osman still on his softs up in 5th. Sturpan in 4th on the hard tyres as well. Kevin also on the hards, and Smith now with a comfortable gap behind him to Kevin. But Matty Elder is running away with this at the moment. Look at those lap times, low 17s, also into the 16s with the fastest lap of the race. Matty Elder is shifting, he wants this race win, but Kevin always has something up his sleeve, so it'd be interesting to see how the strategies unfold. I have a sneaky suspicion that Kevin is not in 3rd place by strategy, but we shall see. As I said, Smith now with a free air in front of him, free air behind him. Sturpan keeping his nose clean in 4th. Not looking to stop yet on the hard tyres. Osman in 5th, looking good. Panic now looking to make a move on Manos. So Panic is right up the rear end of Manos, and is he going to dive up the inside going into the final turn, or is he going to hold station? He holds station. He's going to have a good drive out of the final turn, but it doesn't matter because Manos is now into the pits, as is Sturpan. So the HKRT guys are getting those hard tyres off. They don't appear to be taking on fuel, so Sturpan straight out on those mediums, and he's going to have a battle with Midas around the first turn, and Midas just about keeps ahead of Sturpan. So Midas has retained his position ahead of Sturpan in this race. Actually, no, I think, no, so Midas was behind. So in the first pit stop phase, Midas has jumped Sturpan in this race, but Panic has jumped both of them so far, and he's up into fifth. So it's all starting to jumble up, and we will have to wait and see how things unfold. As Enzo Jack in 8th place after his earlier spin on that one. Monkey in 9th with Damien for company, right on his rear end. Is Damien going to be making a move into the top part of the track? Doesn't look to be. But he is sticking tight to that rear end. And it does look like a move is only corners away. As Monkey goes deep, and Monkey's off the track, but he comes back on and just about manages to keep out of the way of Damien, who's sweeping in to take that turn. And now Enzo Jack is going to be sniffing around the rear end of Monkey as well, but Damien is now clearing off ahead of Monkey as Enzo Jack dives into the pits. So Kevin has been into the pits as well. He's back out on those medium tyres ahead of Sturpan, but he has lost a place to Midas, so that's gonna scupper his plans of having some nice clear air, I'm sure. And I know they're teammates, but they are still battling for the championships. Kevin is going to be looking for an early pass here as soon as he can, so he can get focused on up the road after Mayada, and he does get that move done on the inside into the left-hander there, and off up the road he will go. I am sure with Midas also on the medium tyres though, but the three HKRT guys, 5th, 6th and 7th, separated by cars, a couple of car lengths each. So they are going to be helping each other out, I'm sure, with that slipstream as well. But Kevin doesn't have that. So Kevin has lost positions to Panic and Osman, but they are still to pit, as is Smith. So it was going to be really interesting to see where they come out when they do finally decide to pit. Matty Alder is still a long way out in front, and he is maintaining some really impressive consistency there with his lap times. That is great stuff for Matty Alder. Those soft tires are going to start hurting him, but he is making a light work of Brands Hatch at the moment. As we look down through the field, Osman's still holding third. When are they going to blink? Panic is making progress, so I think this is going to be a real strategy fight, because I honestly cannot predict where people are going to finish up at the moment with everybody stopping and going on to various different tyres. This is going to really jumble the order up as Matty Alder now comes into the pits. Where is he going to come out? How big of a lead did he have? So Smith goes through to take the lead of the race. Obviously still to start, Matty Alder taking on a full tank of fuel by the looks of things, as Osman also goes through. Matty Alder now coming out, and Panic at the Tesco goes through, but Matty Alder comes out ahead of Kevin, and Matty Alder is on the medium tyres, so he's managed to come out a good gap ahead of Kevin, and he's on fresh mediums, and he's got a full tank of fuel, whereas Kevin doesn't appear to have taken on much fuel. So this is going to be a real interesting battle as the race unfolds between the two of them. And Kevin has left Midas and Sturpan to battle it out amongst themselves, and HKRT Damien there, you can see in the background, starting to get a bit interested in the guys at front. He's got a target, and he's going to be locked on to try and bridge that gap. As we go back and have a look, as Monkey and Panos look to be battling it out as well. No move on at the moment for Panos, but he's going to have the slipstream as they head up towards the round there. Monkey goes a little bit deep, and that's going to give Panos a bit of motivation there, and he's looking, he's having a look, he's not going to be close, he's not, well, I say close enough, he couldn't get much closer, but these two particular corners are a challenge to overtake on, and he moves to the outside of what will be the next turn. He gets that move done before the braking zone, And Monkey just settles in behind. I don't think Monkey was fighting that one. I reckon he probably realises that there is a bit of a pace difference. It does look like Panos on the mediums, Monkey is still on those hard tyres, so that is going to have caused a few issues with his grip levels. So he has done the sensible thing and protected his own race. Live to fight another day. As Midas is still trying to chase down Sturpan, he's tucked in behind him. Either they're working together or Midas is just a little bit off the back. Yeah, so looking at those lap times, Midas has got some good strong pace, but perhaps he is being held up a little bit by Sturpan. It is a really difficult track to pass on. You do kind of wait for somebody to make a mistake, really. As Kevin, Matty Alden are coming up to the back of, well, the back of some traffic, really, with the pace Matty Alder's got. Panic on heavily worn soft tyres, and Matty Alder clearly absolutely murring, and he's not lapping them, but they're going to be holding him up, and he's going to want to get past them as quick as possible because he's going to have Kevin on him very, very soon. As you can see there, Kevin has got him in his sights, so this is going to be an interesting battle over this next stint. Can Matty Alder get through on Panic early doors and prevent the loss of too much time? Whilst Osman and Smith is still a long way up the road and still going on those soft tyres, still holding relatively consistent pace. Osman looks like he's going to be struggling a little bit. Panic is definitely going to be struggling with those soft tyres as well. And Matty Alder now tucked in behind. Is Matty Alder going to make the move on Panic? He's just going to sit there for now, benefit from that slipstream, but he's not going to want to be held up too long. Is he going to try and do it going into the final turn? He's got a good exit, bit of grass kicking up the dust. Is he going to have a dive down the inside? No, he's going to have to hold station. So Panic is going to be really holding him up. They both dive into the pits. That has released Matty Alder, and it has also released Kevin. So Matt, what's happened? What was that? That was... Oh, Matt, Panic is just right. Let's go on board with Panic there, because I think something's happened there, and he's misjudged the entrance into the pits. Oh, Osman is slowed down to make sure he makes that turn, and Panic is on a charge and is just absolutely yeeted Osman into that barrier. I'm sure that's going to end up in the steward's office. I don't think it was intentional. I think Panic has just been caught out there by Osman. Obviously, Osman on really heavily worn softs and protecting that entrance into the pits. Panic also on heavily worn softs, but it's not ended well for Osman, and he's going to be fuming, I'm sure. But let's get back up and see what's happening between Matty and Kevin. Kevin now, after Matty was being held up by that traffic, has given Kevin all the time there back to chase down Matty, and they're both on medium tyres, both Matty with a lot more fuel on board. So Kevin is going to possibly have to put some fuel in, but Matty really isn't. Maybe that might be his undoing, because just look here, we're on lap 15. And Kevin has still got 2/3 of a tank of fuel, and we are 2/3 of the race, over 2/3 of the race in. So is that going to be Kevin just running a whole tank of fuel for the whole race and just changing tyres? That could cause Matty some problems. His car will be heavier and will start using those tyres a little bit quicker. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Is Matty running? Matty also still needs to stop for the hard tyres, having started on the soft. So Kevin has already ran the hard tyres. So that is going to play into things here. So we'll keep an eye on things. They're not close enough to be battling just yet, but I can see on the mini map we've got a little battle brewing there between Monkey and Tidders. The Monkey and Tidders then. Tidders, I'm going to look up the inside as they come across start finish straight. Is he going to send it down the inside into turn one? Not a wise idea, but you never know. These guys can pull off some crazy things. But he's going to sit there in behind Monkey. Is he going to have a look down the inside into the hairpin? Not quite close enough. Monkey Goat takes a wider line, gives him a slightly better exit, but Titters, NSX is a machine. But Titters gets all out of shape there, and he's now dropped back a couple of car lengths. That's not benefited him in any way, shape or form. The Panic then has got Manos for company, you can see there, as he comes out on the medium tyres, with Manos on the mediums as well. Hard to keep an eye on who's done the hard tyres. I know Panic started on the hard, but got rid of them early doors. I'm pretty sure all the HKRT guys have ran hards and will be running mediums. We've got a yellow flag. Where's the yellow flag? What's happening up ahead? So we have a spinner. Oh, it's your answer, Jack. Well, we'll leave him alone because nobody wants to see that. He would probably do that all race, knowing him. He's known for enjoying his trips to the grass or the seaside, building some sandcastles in the beach, or visiting his good friend Barry R. So we'll leave him to do what he needs to do. As Manos then looking to try and find a way past Panic. Titter's looking to try and find a way past Monkey. He's gone up the inside here. What was I saying? He's made the move up the inside into turn one. Great move there from Titters. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And he's got that move done nice and early. Well, not nice and early. He's been battling for it for a while. But what that battle has done, and that move, has brought Panic and Manos into play. So now this is a four-way battle for what is currently 9th place. And this, with everybody else spread out, we're gonna stay with these guys, as this is looking to be a cracking battle for position. We've got Panic, who we know has got some good strong pace on those fresh medium tyres, looking to try and find a way through these guys. Manos just dropping back a little bit, but maybe he's just biding his time, seeing what Panic can do, seeing if he makes a mistake, seeing if Monkey goes deep. He's done that a few times. As we've had another pit stop up ahead, so Smith looks like he's finally come in to change off those soft tyres. Surely not. What did he go in on? So Smith has done 17 laps on that set of soft tyres. That is one hell of a stint, and they are pretty much gone. You can see the lap times dropping off there, and he's now coming for his first and for what will probably be his only pit stop. That's great stuff from Smith there. Let's get back to this battle then, where Monkey is now fending off Panic, fast approaching Panic. He's tucked in behind that rear wing. He's hooked onto that bumper, and he is going to be, as Titters now dives into the pits. Panic moves to the inside to Panic, but a bit of argy-bargy there. He wasn't letting Monkey get anywhere, so he's dived up the inside. And yeah, so Monkey obviously managed to avoid that. He kept his line, but Panic has got that move done as he go down into the braking zone. But Monkey's having none of it, and he's looking for that move back. He's not happy with that little door bash, but we're going down into the hairpin, and it does like Panic has got the edge. A couple of car lengths there, and Panic's got a bit of breathing space, and Monkey now has Manos to cover off behind him as well. So we've lost Titters out of this battle due to the pit stop, but Manos is keeping the pressure on Monkey, so he was biding his time, but he doesn't want to let Panic get too far up ahead if he can help it. I'm not using corner names for these guys, because for this circuit, because I'm not that familiar with them. I should be. Such a legendary track, but I'm going to slip up, so I'll keep calling it right-handers as Brian Moncarney goes deep. So Monkey has got that all wrong, and that's given the impetus there to Manos, and he's got through. So just watch that back, see where it was happened. So yeah, he's just missed his turning point there and his braking point as well, and he's just gone deep and onto the gravel, and he's onto the grass, and he's going to have dirty tyres for the next few turns. But Manos has been set free to get on up the road after Panic, and we're now spreading out a little bit. Damien up into fifth, so great stuff from Damien. Really strong performance so far, up in the 5th place. I believe he's already been in for the hard, so that's done and dusted for him. Midas is there also on some tidy looking mediums. Durpan on his own a little bit in third. He's broken the challenge of Midas and given himself plenty of breathing space, as has Matty Elder. Matty Elder has gapped Kevin here, so Matty Elder is on a charge, and Kevin appearing to not be able to live with him. So this is great stuff for Matty Elder. We didn't see anybody take a real fight to Kevin last season. He ran away with it, 100% record on the race wins, but Matty Elder looking really strong at the moment. The only downfall that he is going to have is the fact that he does need to stop again for the hard compound tyre, whereas Kevin has already done that. That is going to, at this moment in time, lose him track position to Kevin, and he will come out on a slower tyre. So I think it is still advantage Kevin at the moment, but Matty Elder is looking to break off into the distance and create that gap to allow him to dive into the pits and get onto the hards and not lose too much time. As Damien, we see, just has dived into the pits. Smith behind Panos there, so Smith all over the back of Panos now. Panos on the medium tyre, Smith on fresh soft, and Smith goes deep there. It looks like he got his braking point all wrong, but I'm sure on those soft tyres he is going to be on a charge back, and he already is. Look at that grunt in that NSX, taking him right back up to the back end of Panos in that slipstream. And that is going to be a battle through this lap, and I can see another battle brewing. We're just, he's really close now, as he's coming round towards the left, the tight 90-degree left-hander on towards the final turn. And is he going to have a look up the inside or the outside? Panos taking a defensive line down the middle of the track. Great defensive work from Panos as they come around the final turn. Is Smith going to have a run on him? Oh, great exit from Smith. He might have had to have lifted there a little bit, but he's right up the rear end now as they go into turn one. He's going to be looking for that drive down into the hairpin, and is he going to send it? Oh, he's having a look. He's giving Panos a full wing mirror full of his car, and Panos is taking a different line. Smith looking for the inside. He's not quite close enough as he come round towards the left-hander, and Smith is all over the back of Panos. Panos making a little bit of a mistake there perhaps, but Smith, I think, also lost a bit of traction as they come round towards the back straight now. And Smith is going to have a run in the slipstream on Panos. Great stuff from these two. Panos, great defensive work, middle of the track. And Smith just trying to every which way. Oh, Smith going, oh no, is he? No. The Smith hasn't gone down. Oh, I think there might have been contact there. A little bit of a flash. What's going on? Let's have a little look, see what's happened there, because from Smith's angle, so yeah, Smith has got that wrong, and he's given Panos a little bit of a shunt, and now he's having a look to try and get through past him, and there's no way through there. So he's going to have to live to fight another day as they go around the tight left-hander, the 90-degree left-hander again on up towards the back straight. The final turn for the start-finish straight even, and he is literally all over him, and he's on fresh soft tyres, so he's going to have the extra grip, and he goes to the outside. The Smith goes to the outside, and he gets a move done down the outside. Can he bring it back in? He can. Smith is up to fifth. Panos has had to yield, but is he going to go down with that fight? He is, and he's going to try and stick with him. But Smith is going to have the extra grip on the exit of the turns, and he is using that grip to his advantage, already pulling out a couple of car lengths. And I think that move is done as Panic and Damien now battling. I think Panic has got past Damien. Damien has just come out of the pits, I believe. So Damien on fresh soft tyres. There is Damien actually just trying to put the move on Panic. Let's have a little look back. So yeah, it does look like Damien is all over the back of Panic, and he's not going to get the move done there by the looks of it. So he's going to have to sit tight, and that's where we picked it up from. So we'll just blip it forward a little bit. We want to bear in mind we want to try and keep this into 1 hour long commentary on this race. We don't want to overrun, because then I have to do a separate video and it's a whole palaver. So we'll try and keep this to a minimum. But Panic is defending from a fast approaching Damien. Panic on the medium tyres in the Nissan GTR. Damien in the Lexus SC430. It looks like that is going to be as you were for the time being. Damien not able to find a way by as they come into the final turn. Panic keeping a good line. Damien going to be in that slipstream. Is he going to have the opportunity to send it down the inside? He's going to have the added grip. Could he go around the outside if he needs to? No, he's going to hold fire. He's just going to bide his time a little bit more, I think. Really difficult to follow in the dirty air as well around here. It can really send you off. As Panic goes deep, and Damien thought the door was open then, and he just wasn't close enough to take advantage of walking through it before Panic slammed it shut in his face. And that was close to being the move that Damien was waiting for. And now he's gonna have that run. He's got to have that run coming down towards the top part of the track. Panic keeping to the middle and holding off Damien at the moment as they go around the fast right-hander. Damien all over the back, and Damien gets it wrong, and he goes deep, and he's on the grass, and Panic can now breathe a sigh of relief as he's got a few car lengths for the time being, but I'm sure Damien will be back on him before we know it. So we're just we'll leave these two to it for now, because I can see another battle brewing behind us, and that's Matty Elder and Kevin. So Matty has a struggle. So if you look at his lap time, so lap 21 he dropped over a second and a half. A second and a half on his usual times, and that has given Kevin a massive impetus there, and he's closed right up onto the back of Matty Elder. And Matty now in all sorts of trouble for the race win, because rather than pulling out a gap, he's fallen into the clutches of Kevin with that hard tyre stint still to come. The only hope he's got is, does Kevin also need to come in and change tyres, or is Kevin going to be able to take those medium tyres to the end of the race? I have a suspicion that he will be able to, and Matty Elder has picked up a half-second time penalty as well, which is not going to help his cause. He was served that on the next lap around, and things are unravelling before our eyes for Matty Elder. We thought he might be the man to take it to Kevin. So is Kevin going to have any issues? Is Kevin going to make any mistakes? We didn't see it last season, but we see it this season. Maybe the pressure from Matty Elder will tell the tale, or maybe Kevin will rise to the occasion and beat away another competitor. Commentators curse, and Kevin has binned it. Kevin has binned it. The Matty Elder, that half-second time penalty not going to play a part, and Kevin, well, this could play into the hands of Matty now. Didn't Matty create that gap to come in and dive onto the hard tyres and get the job done? I can't believe that happened as I was talking about it. Well, maybe the pressure has told for Kevin. Maybe that pressure has taken its toll, and Kevin is showing a few chinks in the armour. Well, we'll have to keep an eye, but Matty Elder now breathes a sigh of relief and has got a good, comfortable gap behind him. And I would hasten to guess that would be not far off what he needs to dive in, get the hard tyres on and come back out. But then he has to fend off Kevin on the hard tyres with Kevin on mediums, but they will be heavily worn. So this strategy is still going to unfold before our very eyes. 13 laps. Oh, Matty Elder goes deep. Matty Elder goes deep. Oh, I need to stop talking about the potential here. Matty Elder has gone deep and he's stuck it in the gravel, and that has lost him some time. He's managed to get it back going without spinning, but that gap has shortened, and now Kevin is still, I think if we have the old Formula 1 graphics of how long before they come into battle and things like that, I think it's only going to be a matter of time before Matty Elder has to come in, and then that battle will rage on to the end of this race. So I think it's going to be a close one. Let's go back, let's have a little look down the field. See a little battle brewing down here. Panic still trying to fend off Damien. The Panic on those medium tyres. Damien on the softs. Those softs looking really sorry for themselves on that front left at the moment. but he's still going to have a little bit more grip around some of these turns, and he's got a good run now on Panic as they come round towards the back, onto the back straight, and he's going to have that slipstream, but he's not quite close enough just yet. So he's still got a bit of work to do as Damien, as they come round towards the top of the hill. Enzo Jack up ahead, picking up a half-second time penalty. I don't think that's going to affect his race any worse than it already has. Damien going to have a run on Panic going into turn 1 potentially. He's going to have the grip to get the power down a little bit earlier than Panic will, as they both get through on a lapped Enzo Jack. He's still not quite close enough. But he's got a real tight line on that hairpin, where Panic does take a little bit of a wider line, so it looks like that door is opening, but then it does close very, very quickly. So let's go up to the top. Let's see. So Kevin is now, I think Kevin might have had another incident on that previous lap. Looking at that lap time, we know he had the spin, but that gap to Matty Alder looking as big as it was before Matty Alder put it into the dirt. So maybe he had another mistake. Well, Kevin is showing those chinks potentially. Can Matty Alder capitalise? The Matty Alder in first at the moment as we come in towards the final part of this race, with Midas diving into the pits now to change tyres again, so we may be seeing some more pit stops. Kevin is second, third is Sturpan, not far behind Kevin. Tyres looking very similar, fuel looking less, so I think Sturpan might need to come in again. Dillard Smith does need to come in for the hard compound tyre, so Smith on those soft tyres looking a little bit worn. I would imagine he's going to be saving the soft tyre, the hard tyre compound stint, his last stint in this race. I think he might have made a mistake on that last lap as well, because the 119 is a lot slower than he had been doing, and maybe he's made a mistake on this lap because he's 2 seconds down on his fastest. So either that or those soft tyres are starting to play a part. Panos in 5th anyway, so Panos in 5th. Panic at the Tesco now with Damien right alongside of him, so they are going to have to go side by side if this carries on into the right-hander at the top of the hill. But Damien does yield sensibly, but he's going to have a run on Panic all the way through the section. Can he keep it tight behind him all through this section to give him a run? It does look like he perhaps made a bit of a mistake there, and he has dropped back a little bit. So Kevin coming into the pit, so Kevin did need to stop again. So that has put the cat amongst the pigeons now, and Kevin has had to stop again. He will have to surely be coming out on the soft tyres, but that is going to give Matty Alder some breathing space then. His hard tyre run can just be 3 laps at the end, but Kevin is going to be fast approaching on the soft tyres. So what will Matty Alder do? Will Matty Alder get the pit stop done nice and early to keep track position, or will he look to go as long as he can and do the 3 laps on the hards at a later stage? He's lapped Monkey as we go back down through the pack. So Sturpan down in 6th place, Enzo Jack having another spin as usual. Manos in, and we can still see Enzo Jack spinning 8th for Manos. Panos in 9th. Euro Osman down in 10th. Looks like he's been struggling with the race since his unfortunate visit to Barrier, courtesy of Panic at the Tesco. URL Titters in 11th. Brian Moncarney is down in 12th and lapped, and well, Enzo Jack is just taking in the sights. So let's get back up to Matty Alder. So Matty Alder ahead of Brian Moncarney on the track, but having lapped him, Matty Alder going to be trying to keep his head clean. Kevin, how far behind is Kevin? So a real good chunk past Taylor Smith. Kevin is a lot further behind. So Kevin is behind Smith at the moment. Smith on soft tyres that are going to be screaming. So Damien now coming into the pits. You can see, get off those soft tyres which are heavily worn. Kevin is chasing down Smith on a fresh soft tyres. So I would imagine that, I would expect the fastest lap based on previous history to go to Kevin while he's on these soft tyres. And well, there you go, he's already a 10th up into sector 2. So that does look like it will be the case. Panic, who's he got? Oh, Panic has got Sturpan for company. The Sturpan is pitted. Panic on the medium tyre, Sturpan on fresh softs. That is going to be a battle in a very short space of time, I'm sure. Midas also on fresh softs, not far behind in 6th place. Panos in 7th with Damien now for company, both on the soft tyres. Good recovery drive from Panos there. After his spin on lap 1, he's managed to keep into 7th place, get up to 7th place. Osman in 9th. Titters down in 10th. Manos in 11th. Monkey down in 12th place. We're back up. We'll just skip past Enzo Jabber. Nobody wants to see that. And if you do, I'm not going to show it anyway. So there we go. We don't want to see him spinning round. And if you do, well, just think about all the races you have watched of Enzo Jax and you'll get the picture. Mayalda then in first, still looking to get that first race win under his belt and take that championship lead that Kevin hasn't yielded since race 1 when he took the championship lead of last season. So can Mayalda do it? He's got a good gap at the moment. Kevin is currently chasing down Smith with a half-second time penalty. So is Kevin going to get the move done nice and early, or is Smith going to be able to hold him off and potentially help out Mayalda up ahead? It will also help Smith's case if he can hold off Kevin. Smith's still got to come in as well, so whatever Smith can do will benefit Smith, but I don't think, well, the penalty will be served, and through goes Kevin. Kevin on a charge. He didn't even get held up in the end because of the ghosting, so Kevin is on a charge. That fastest lap of the race has gone. So 2/10 despite getting past Smith. That is one hell of a lap time from Kevin on race settings. A 1:16.2, and Mayalda is going to be looking at, speaking to his race engineer and finding out where Kevin is now. He'll know Kevin has got past Smith, but it is a half lap distance. So that will be a very interesting battle as we come to the final stages of this race. Smith on those absolutely tortured soft tyres now, looking, he's surely going to be coming into the pits in the next couple of laps, if not this lap, to get onto that hard compound tyre. As it looks like, oh, we got Panic then. So Sturpan has got through on Panic up into 4th place. Panic now struggling to hold off the fast approaching Midas as well. The tyre offset playing dividends here, and Midas is surely going to make short work of Panic at the Tesco towards the end of this lap. During the next lap even. He is rapidly approaching the rear end of that Nissan GTR of Panic at the Tesco. Great stuff from Damien then on the soft tyres. He's got through on Panos. Looking at Panos, he's had some damage. So Panos is struggling with. He's obviously made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, he's dropped a few seconds on that lap, and that's given Damien the stretch. So Damien, first time in the Pro League, and he is doing a cracking job in 7th place at the moment. Just keeping his nose clean and keeping it on the track. Manos in 10th, Titters in 11th. Titters now looking to try and put the pressure on Manos. Oh, actually, no, I think Manos has passed Titters. Manos on those soft tyres. Titters on worn mediums. And Monkey down in 12th. Back in front of Mayalda. Mayalda with some damage. What has happened to May? Oh, here he is then. What has happened to May? Oh, he's got it all wrong there, and he's whacked the barrier. He's done well to keep it going, but Mayalda into the barrier then, and that has picked up damage, and he could do without that. With Kevin, well, that's shortened the gap. This is to-ing and fro-ing between the two of them. Is Matty going to be coming in now to get onto the hard tyres? Or is he going in for another lap? That fuel looking really precarious. He's got enough for another lap, obviously, so round he goes. And Kevin is looming large at 16.8 that last lap. So he's staying in those 16s, which is a cracking pace from Kevin. And as things are spread out, just because I'm conscious of the time, we'll just blip it forward. We'll start Matty Alder. We'll just go forward and see if we can. So Matty Alder into the pits then. Where does he come out? Kevin has got through. So Kevin on those soft tyres. Matty Alder on the hards. I think that is the race win for Kevin, barring any major mistakes. So unfortunately, it does look like Matty Alder is not going to be taking that championship lead over from Kevin, but he has made a good effort of it. But I mean, it still could end up with a race win if anything happens to Kevin. We've seen a chink in his armour already in this race. But unfortunately, Matty Alder at the moment looking at a second place finish, comfortably ahead of Sturpan though in third place. We'll just assume that yellow flag was up for Enzo. It probably was. Just going to have to go forward a little bit while these are all spread out, just to make sure we get to the end of this race before the timer runs out. So as we've gone forward, so Kevin in first, comfortably ahead of Matty Alder now. Kevin on a charge. He's done a 2:17 and 1,000 of a second quicker than his previous fastest lap of the race. Matty Alder in second place. Closest thing to a challenge for Kevin this race. I expect he had Kevin shaking in his boots at some points in this race. Both drivers have made a number of mistakes. So if it had been an error-free race, I wonder who may have come out on top. Hopefully we'll get to see that as the championship battle unfolds. Sturpan in third place. Great job from Sturpan. Really strong stuff. He's kept it on the track. He's kept his extra down, and he's put in some good lap times, and he's earned his third place at the moment, with Midas certainly deserving of a fourth place finish as well. Panic at the Tesco. Great stuff from Panic. Hopefully he manages to last that fuel, looking really, really low. Couple of laps left. And Panic has done well to hold on to fifth place as things stand. Damien's still holding off fast approaching Panos. So Damien's still with some work to do to hold on to sixth place. Panos is seventh. Smith dropping down to eighth place. Not reaching the dizzying heights of fifth and sixth that he was consistently known for in season one of the GrTwosdays Championship. But he's looking like he's having to settle for eighth. He's got a lonely finish to the race ahead of him. No one in front of him anywhere near, no one behind him anywhere near. Osman in ninth. Unfortunately for Osman, he was looking good early doors, but his race was undone by that shunt into the barriers on the pit entry from Panic, and I'm sure he will still be absolutely raging. But he's kept going, which is testament. And I mean, those lap times are incredibly consistent. Just look at that, lap 31 through to lap 37, all within a tenth and a half of each other. That's incredible consistency from Osman, showing why he is one of the most respected and revered drivers in the URL in any league. So Osman doing good stuff despite that earlier incident. Manos in 10th place as we come towards the closing stages. Not quite what you would have hoped for. We were used to seeing him towards the end of last season nearer the top end of the grid, but everybody seems to have leveled up a little bit. We know Manos started off slow last time out as well, so unfortunate for him at the moment. Titters in 11th place, a lonely finish by the looks of it for Titters, as a Monkey comes around as well in 12th. So Kevin coming round for the final time, with Matty Alder a long way back. So Kevin coming round, we're just bringing now towards the end, as we haven't got very much time left, as he comes across the start-finish line to take the first win of the season Matty Yauder comes across the line to finish third. Second, a flash of the lights from Matty Yauder, with Sturpan, Enzo Jad just coming over a long way behind. Sturpan to take the final spot on the podium, and we're not going to see everybody else finish. We'll just blip down through. Oh, hang on, we better watch this. And I think that's fifth.